I don't know whose voice that was, but it was adorable. Yeah. It was cute. Anybody in here like Janis Joplin? Woo! Yes? She was like, yes! That's my shit. This is a piece to Janis. You know, I had a night, which I'm sure, how many people have ever experienced a breakup in their life in here by raise of hands? Pretty much everyone, almost. If you have not experienced a breakup, you are abundantly blessed in some kind of incredible way. And, you know, I'm grown, so sometimes when you're real sad, you find yourself wandering into places with alcohol, and, you know, you try to drown in your sorrows a little bit. And after this experience, I realized, like, there was this old-ass jukebox in, like, the back of the room. It's like a dive bar with, like, bikers in it, and here my ass comes in, a hot mess. Mascara running down. I was like, I just want whiskey. That's all I want right now. It'll make it all better. Janis Joplin's Summertime, which is one of my favorite songs of her, came on and literally just made me better. It just made me better. Not forever, but for a good 3 minutes, I was good. So this poem is to her. Janis screamed at me from a jukebox, pulling me yearning and willing, begging like a junkyard lover to pick her apart, rebuild, salvage what was left. Both of us tired of picking up the pieces. Summertime had left us sprawled in the heat. The guitar, a suited hype man plucking and teasing the thick of me. The only thing in the bar able to play a smile without holding the grit. My bar stool held me, reluctant as a preacher's eye, but the screech and drum wrapped its sweaty palms deep into places we dare not speak of, slipping and creeping, kissing the staircase in my spine, my hips cautiously swaying. Let go, she whispered. My feet sashayed through the meat rack and stench of rotting hope, my spinning wrists reaching for this seductive box of metal and vinyl. Tell me again, Janis. One morning you're gonna rise, my arms raising to submit. There is no better sermon than this. Does God know where his daughters go to praise after they've been broken? Here, my knees do not hesitate to bend. These collapsing ankles find balance in her wrenching voice. Janis, tell me to let go again. My chest stretching upward like a prayer, a beautiful sacrifice. My stomach twisting the line of torso and thighs, stilettos, a tambourine man's pusher. My throat swallowing what is left of my discretion. My glass, a lonely reflection, jealous as it waits for me to reach back. My body has no remorse. Janis knows no addiction better than an empty bottle. The gazers and crude gawking only encourage the show. The blades of my shoulders prodding the snare, a slow grind redemption, a thrusting a hallelujah. This song is the reason why. A glorious accident, I stumbled into this bar, pockets thin and whining with a heart too broken to care. Janis danced with me, loved me in public like he never did. No, don't you cry. Tell me simple again, Janis. I owe you more than a quarter for your time, worth more than my sloshing steps twirling in cheap liquor and forgotten chivalry. You deserve a ballet, Janis, not a broken tap shoe wailing in and out of time. She holds me anyways. This is a slow dance, summertime intended. Time for one more? Yes? Okay. All right. My last poem of the night. Woo! Woo! Get it! Woo! I just got a fist pump. That's great. No words, just fist pump. That's awesome. You know, one thing I can say of being on this campus that I find really amazing is the fact that there's a lot of community here that I don't necessarily see on other campuses, even if I just got it from watching the acts. That there was not a lot of solo acts, you know what I mean? It was a lot of people building with people, and regardless of what capacity that is, whether it be art or something else, there is definitely a great amount of community on this campus that if you're not a part of one, please take part in one, or find out more information, or something, because I think it's really brilliant. And I want to thank Maha, and I want to thank Jeffrey, and I definitely want to thank Dreamer, aka Sophie, you know, for having me out, and I really, really, really loved being here. So thank you. So here we go, my last poem of the evening. If you like a book, come holler at me. There's stories, illustrations, poems, and a bunch of good shit wrapped in a book. So there you go. This piece is entitled Purple, and it comes from the idea, well, backstory. My daughter is 7, I have a 7-year-old, and when she was about 5, you know, most parents, I'm sure your parents had this conversation with you when you were really little and had no fucking idea what you wanted to do, but you know, the age old, what do you want to be when you grow up, right? And when you're a kid, there's like endless possibility in this, right? That you don't have the normal spectrum of like, I want to be a lawyer, or I want to be this. You know, you think of stuff that's crazy that hasn't been invented. Like, I want to be a moon ballerina. And you're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, I want to twirl on the moon for a living. And you're like, oh yeah, awesome, right? And so my daughter comes to me, and I'm joking with her when she's like 5. And I'm like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I call her Squish. So I'm like, Squish, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she's like, I know exactly what I want to be. And I'm like, okay, let me know. She goes, Mom, I really want to be an apple. So I asked, thinking maybe she wants to work for Apple. So I was like the produce? And so she's like, yeah. Then she starts trying to like sell it to me, right? She's like, I could be an apple tart. I could be an apple pie. I was like, you cannot turn yourself into an apple. Get your life together, go see a career counselor or something. Oh, so then, you know, apparently about, 4 months later, she decided she had her life together. She got some counseling in preschool. I don't know what happened. So she comes back to me and she goes, I really figured out what I want to be. And I said, okay, let me sit down, because I'm not sure what I have to prepare myself for. So she goes, Mom, I really want to be the color purple. Don't say, oh, that doesn't make any sense. How can you grow up and be the color purple? And it doesn't make it any better that she's like multiracial. So I'm like, how many more colors do you want to be? I'm confused. So, but the beautiful thing in this is that, like, she had no concept that she couldn't be something, right? Like, as a kid, she's like, I can be whatever I want. Like, it doesn't have to fit inside of a box or inside of an application or inside of a major, or like, she has no concept of that. Like, we lose that somewhere in growing up, right? We lose this concept that we can do or be anything. And the reason that that story was so important to me and that moment was so important to me, because it was a reminder that yes, we have to be logical, and yes, we have to go through the process of things, but if we don't keep that little piece of impossible that we are capable of doing, our world never changes. Right? Does everybody understand this? So this poem is dedicated to people to remind themselves of the dreamer and the things that are impossible that without us trying them never succeed. Okay? So last poem of the evening. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. The Color Purple. You're leaving? What's happening? It's one last poem. Like, if you have to go, you can go ahead. It's totally cool. Hold on. You ready to go? I was told I could be anything. So on my next job application under occupational history, it will read the color purple. And under duties, it'll say I've been holding down the 5th line of the rainbow. Under supervisor, contact the sky, because she got a retirement plan mapped out for me in the stars. Contract signed in fairy dust with an underlying clause that reads, under no circumstance will I ever let you fall too far. So sign me up for position of dreamer. Must I have a degree in astronomy to wish on the stars? I will make a career out of the impossible. Make $1 million out of one life changed and live lavishly by dusting off Skid Row and stop in celebration on top of every cubicle made to box us in. Because you see, no one as a child imagines just being an answering service to the world, typing 40 words per minute while staring at a clock on the wall, tick-tock away your life's minutes, while you rather be anywhere else. You see, I rather be skipping across Orion's belt while debating with the sun of who shines brighter. Forget hiring me as a character. Why don't you hire me for my character? Go ahead and try and challenge me with all of your standards, but make sure to take the board out of your meeting because I'd rather have a drink and stiff. Give me the task of jumping off a cliff and learning how to fly. Fire me when I die trying to be anything other than what I am. Anything other than what I was born to be. Anything other than what I create while I am still here. I am still here, present and willing to make the best out of what this world has to offer. So offer me more than just a paycheck. Give me life. Promote me to the moon so I may light up the night and send me on a flight to Saturn so I may dance on its rings and spin me a new world. Because you see, position of dreamer carries the duties of molding all little girls into constellations that can balance galaxies on their forehead and pour Milky Ways at play tea parties that tend to last for decades. But don't worry, because your overtime will be paid by imaginary friends telling you stories that you can only hear when you listen to the child at heart. Show me an unemployment line and I'll show you 100 people who weren't allowed to be a child from the start. 50 who were told not to dream. 30 who tried to fit inside a box. 20 who ended up getting lost. 10 who were told not to believe. And one working the hell out of the system to get where she needs to be. Because sometimes dreaming can be obsessive in life. Life can act to the depressive. That's why workaholic dreamers lock themselves away in offices not to be distracted by the world. I wish that my job was to type memos letting every single person I know that there is always somewhere better than where you are at. I would fax a picture of 1,000 open arms to let you know that when these machines don't love you, people still do. I would help you to sue your boss for not letting you off in time to cook dinner for your children because his BS 9 to 5 don't fit into the parent handbook of spending time with your kids. Not only for you to spend time with them, but for them to remind you of how to imagine. I imagine that when I apply for the position of dreamer, I'll be much too qualified to sit behind a desk. You can give me an imaginary job as long as it has purpose. So in my next job application, under occupation applying for, it will still read purple because that's what I do best. Thank you guys so much.